Let's talk now to Oleksiy Goncharenko, a Ukrainian MP for Odessa, one of the cities, of course, that has been crucial to the grain exports. Mr. Goncharenko, thank you very much for joining us to talk about this today. You and I spoke about this deal last summer when it was agreed. It was only for a short amount of time. What do you think the prospects are of getting it renewed?
I think I hope that it will be renewed and prospects can be good. But in general, what question I have is why the world let Putin to close the Black Sea. That's a very important question because that is a very dangerous precedent. Tomorrow, Putin can decide to close Baltic Sea. Then Chairman Xi can decide to close Southern Chinese Sea. And what will be with the world trade and in the situation in the world? And that is the question number one. When we spoke with you last summer, I told you Russians, they don't want any deal. They would want to see food prices peaking. They want to see as much chaos as possible. They want to see millions of people starving, causing social unrest, waves of migrants and refugees to Europe, and so on and so on. The plan of Putin has not changed, but he's much weaker than he was 1 year ago. And the question is why the world is letting him again to blackmail the whole planet, again by weaponizing food with the threats against the prolongation of the grain deal, what we have today.
In truth, though, is there really any alternative? We were seeing the impact of the disruption of supplies until this deal was agreed once Russia began its invasion of Ukraine and, as you say, blockading the Black Sea. Without that deal, those problems, particularly in parts of the Horn of Africa, would have got materially worse during the last few months. This might not be an ideal, it probably isn't an ideal agreement from Ukraine's point of view, but really there isn't any other choice, is there?
No, there are. It's better than nothing, definitely. I don't argue with you. But there are better options. The world can say that commercial navigation should not suffer. And if Russia will try to attack any ship under flag of any country, according to United Nations Charter and according to international law, that will be a war of Russia against this country, against Turkey, against United Kingdom, against any other country, under flag of which commercial vessel will come to take commercial cargo. And I just want to see what Russia will do. And we know the answer. Last autumn, in the end of October, Russia already said, we don't want to continue the deal, we're leaving the deal. But at that moment, President Erdogan told, okay, we will continue without you. And in 2 days, Russians came back. Because in reality, that is bluff. They are bluffing. They don't have a capacity to blockade the sea. They just threatening. And unfortunately, the world is afraid of these threats of Russia.
Mr. Goncharenko, Ukraine needs this deal, doesn't it? Because if you can't export your grain, you can't clear the silos, you can't have a location to put this year's harvest.
Certainly, Ukraine needs this deal. And for our economy, yes. But Ukraine will not starve in any way. The world needs this deal even more than Ukraine, because Black Sea is vital for food security of the world, and everybody now realizes it. It's, by the way, from times of ancient Greeks. And that's why Russia is attacking the Black Sea. I wear this T-shirt, it's called Sakartvelo on it, it's Georgia in translation. You know, maybe now that there is social unrest in Georgia caused by, again, Russian malign influence. Russia is attacking Black Sea, absolutely consciously, understanding the vital role of the Black Sea in the world food security. And that is something which should be stopped.
Oleksiy Goncharenko, the Member of Parliament for Odessa in Ukraine. Good to speak to you again. Thanks very much for joining us on BBC News.
Thank you.